If you haven't done so already, you can check out my deck profile for week 8 of the ECL2 up in the card above or down in the description. With that out of the way, let's get right into the match. So getting into the match here, I did win the die roll, but as you see, I did mulligan. I don't quite remember what my hand is, to be honest, but it clearly wasn't good enough. And here I just expend to draw as well, not really wanting to commit too much. I don't think my hand was too bad here. I think I just really need to save that to respond. And here, Poison Dip on the Ash Rabbit. Perfect. This is why I like to go first, because as Alex tries to build up stuff, I already have a chance to respond to it. I can respond to Spark and Hand Rip, or I can even respond to Ash Rabbit, just making sure that it doesn't stick around here. So even though slow start, not being able to play an Elestral, which isn't the end of the world for my deck since I'm just trying to build up the cards I want to see, at least I can also work to keep Alex off of stuff. Though the Spirit Deficit is definitely something I'll need to work to make up as well. And if I remember hand correctly, I do have a way to actually do that. So here Alex has this card also off of Ash Rabbit, sets 2 and passes, and I expend to get rid of that Ash Rabbit, already down to 15 spirits. But here I do have the Galaxy, just wanting to go and put on some pressure, start baiting out those response cards, and it does get shielded, which I'm very happy to see as well. Shield's now gone, don't have to deal with that, and it's balancing out the spirits just a tiny bit. Like, I got an extra spirit out of Alex, which feels great. So Elechick comes out here, don't have a response to that, and Alex gets to search out his Zeus, which is scary, but since I don't have a body on board, it's not like he's getting immediate value off of it. Though that also means that I still have to deal with it later. But also I don't have rune removal. So it's an interesting scenario here where sometimes if I had rune removal, I'd probably want to get rid of that. But since I don't, it's fine. So here, Alex uses the Ambrosia, putting himself back up to 18 spirits, which is kind of scary as well, but that's another card out of his hand, and I take the one for the Elechick attack. No reason to use extra spirits to deal with an Elechick when I've got the Galaxy in hand to try to answer it. Here, I've got an Ambrosia, and I'm realizing there's no reason to hold these Ambrosias. Let's just fire them off and get myself back up to 17 spirits, which feels great. And the reason why is because Alex is on Earth, he might have Drataya. And I don't really want to deal with him drawing more cards off of Drataya. So I figured let's just use them while I can. So it does put me down to 2 cards in hand, but I throw out the Galaxy attack over the Elechick, and I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty good position here. Alex does throw out the Viscerus and then the Zeus with 3 spirits. So trying to hit over that Galaxy, but again, this is also why I didn't want to respond to the Elechick, because now I can Tsunami and still have that to deal with something as scary as Viscera. Like Elechick, sends out the Galaxy, easy answer. Just can hit over it, and if he has a counter rune, oh well, I just deal with it. So here, passing back over to my turn, I Laurels, because the Zeus is set up, I'm just getting rid of that Viscerus. I don't want to deal with it. Let's just also get some damage. Foamy is great here, because now Alex either has to use an Earthquake to get rid of it, or he has to attack over it and I get some value. So I'm feeling great, 2 damage, and I'm in the lead now. Didn't expect that to happen. And Boom Bat to get rid of the Galaxy. Pretty solid. I think the Foamy would have been better there because he had the Zeus to deal with the Galaxy and hit over it, and he could just deny the Foamy effect there. But here, I just expend to draw. I'm on low resources, but I'm also not feeling too pressured. I've got 2 back row. I've got this Foamy still out on board. So I see no reason. Let's just build up some card economy. Let's just draw some cards, get some build up my hand again. That's what I was trying to say. And here, another slow play by Alex, playing out the Rummagem. So I'm not feeling too bad. Like, Alex isn't doing anything too crazy. He hasn't done anything too crazy yet. And I'm just able to keep up with my counter runes and just keeping up with the different Elestrals I have on board. So I'm surprised. I was expecting this to be a lot scarier, but who knows? Maybe it might get that way soon. So here, pass it back over to me. I'm just debating how I want to deal with this. And ultimately, I just go Smoltuga to search out a Nekruff. Just taking a slower play. Alex took a slower play. I feel more comfortable taking a slower play to build up another Elestral to cast out. And also, I didn't really have a way to hit over the Rummagem, hence why I also did this play. And here, after I shuffle my deck, I'm just going to switch the Foamy to defense and pass it back over. And just see what Alex has got. I'm also sitting behind 2 counter runes still. So again, I'm not feeling too bad. He might start sniping stuff, but again, he's already at lower spirits than me, which feels great. Another Viscerus comes out, the one he searched off of the Rummagem. He uses the Zeus to be able to hit over it with Smoltuga, or hit over Smoltuga with it, and I just shield it. Like, I have the Nekruff, but I also don't have a great way to deal with it as well, versus I can just kind of keep him off bodies on board, use the fact I'm ahead, Nekruff, hit over the Rummagem, force out more spirits, and just kind of put the pressure on him, because again, I still have some back row, which feels great. Alex does have a Gorgon's Gaze to stop the Nekruff, so I don't take out the Rummagem, but that's still 2 spirits out of him, and another counter rune, so I'm not feeling too bad with that either. Like, I'm still ahead at this point. I've got the Lustral advantage, I got the Spirit advantage. He throws out a Toxion. Burns not... It definitely doesn't feel great. He attacks over the Smoltuga, but there's no reason to shield that back to hand. That's just me using... giving the Toxion more spirit damage than necessary. That'd be like an additional 2+ a card. So when I have the Nekruff on board, and I can just hit over it anyway. So I switch the Foamy to defense. I choose not to do anything. Fearful, since he has the Toxion, they might start burning me. And he uses another Gorgon's Gaze just to keep it around. And again, I'm still feeling pretty good. I'm really up on spirits now. As figures, he throws out the Viscerus. He sinks the Nekruff to try to attack into it. But I do have a pretty good counter just to kind of stave off this attack, and that's the Tsunami. And now with the Necrof on board, I can easily hit over whatever I want here. Foamy can't really do it. And then here I switch out for the Spirit I want to use with the Galaxy. And now I'm feeling great because my board can trade into his board. Foamy's now at 3 attack and the other 2 are at 5 attack to hit over everything. So I just cleared. That was a phenomenal card there to see. And Alex just debating what he wants to get rid of. Off of the Necrof expand, he gets rid of a Tralis. So now he's down to 1 Spirit. And he does have his Ambrosia, so he's still in it, but definitely very far behind. He's used up all of his counter runes, and he's got no Elestrals on board, facing down 3 Elestrals. He ends up going the 3rd Viscerus here, and he could hit over the Foamy, or, oh, he's got a Zeus, just trying to get bodies off a board. So here, I forget which one he sinks. We won't matter which one it is. I'm just going to Gorgon's Gaze it, so I stopped the attack. Right, because I was sunk. I don't remember which one it is, but it's fine. So I go Trident onto Necrof just to easily hit over the Viscerus, and that pretty much wins me the game. So that's game 1. A very even tempo game there. I'm surprised nothing too crazy came out, but let's move right along to game 2. Getting into game 2 here, Alex is on the play this time around, so I'm going to have to deal with some stuff, but being up a game and possibly able to go first game 2, or game 3, excuse me, has me feeling pretty good into this matchup, surprisingly. Still not great, because like Thunder Next can still do a lot going second, but really using those Visceruses, it looks scarier, but then going with these slower plays such as the Rum Gem here on turn 1, which granted is one of the best plays you do, but some of those slower plays I definitely think helped keep me in the game there. So here, great first turn play by Alex, 2 back row, a Rum Gem to find a Viscerus, and passing there. So I'm definitely a bit wary of this one. So here I just go Foamy in defense, try to see if I can bait like a poison tipped arrow. I didn't see any last game, but still want to bait it out. And if he didn't have it, well, now he has to deal with it. So just Foamy, 2 back row, and pass. So I think this is one of my better starts to try to compete with it. Like at least I have some back row. So Alex is debating what he wants to do here and just kind of checking his set cards. Obviously, he doesn't necessarily want to give me the Foamy value, but at the same time, he wants to get some Viscerus value. So here he goes Viscerus, and I just poison tipped arrow it. I can keep the Foamy around just because this gives me a better chance to, well, one, I just want to deal with the Viscerus, and getting Gorgon's Gaze on the Foamy would also hurt. So I just felt like that was the better play overall, and then I can cast out Necrof and just kind of put on the pressure again. So really just don't want to mess with that Viscerus, just want to get it out of there. And that's great. Get 2 extra spirits damage, and now I've got control of the board again. Interesting, no use of the back row, but might not be too advantageous currently. So here, he does have the Ambrosia to recover back up to 17 spirits, so he can start trying to retake the board, and the Boom Bat here to deal with the Necrof. Not too bad. Still think I would prefer the Foamy, because you can Zeus sync, like if you get Elechic, that's an answer to the Necrof, and Foamy just gives you so much value. And here, I just decided to recoup cards, like I've got board advantage, had a low hand size, or not too low, but I'm definitely gathering pieces for the Majesty combo at this point, and I don't really feel the need to put on too much pressure. After game 1, it seemed like it's pretty even pace, and really, I'm just building up to that combo, so it made the most sense. Another Boom Bat. Finally, the Foamy goes down to a Boom Bat, which I don't hate here, because it gets that boom. Well, okay, Majesty is immune to Boom Bat, so I would have preferred Earthquakes and Poison Tipped Arrows, but at the same time, it just means I can throw this Smoltuga into attack position, shut down Necrof, and poke, because against Zeus, Smoltuga's fight defense really doesn't matter. I'd rather just get in that damage, get the most value out of it. And now I have a Necrof in hand to be able to try to retaliate with. Poke for the 1 and pass back to Alex. So pretty even pace game, but I've got 3 counter runes on board as well. So I'm definitely feeling in a decent position, all things considered. So here, Alex finally goes for the Spark Hit. And here I'm just like, oh, am I about to get hand ripped? This is kind of what I'm worried about. I honestly do not remember if I have a Gorgon's Gaze set, but he actually just attacks, so I just Tsunami here because Sparket's got 1 defense. I can hit over it with Smoltuga, and here I just throw out the Necrof because I want to put pressure out here, and again, Smoltuga can hit over it in the event that Alex does shield here. So that's 2 spirits out of it, and I still clear the board. Like, that's still great for me overall. Spirit, in terms of spirit differential, that got an extra spirit out of Alex. Well, okay, it broke even, but got a card out of his hand, which is, or out of his rune row, which is great. And Ambrosia from Alex, so he's still definitely in it. He goes Elechic. There's the Elechic to search out the Zeus. I wonder if he top decked that, hence why he played the Spark Hit there. It's probably the case. But here, Zeus, he can start hitting over stuff. But again, Elechic, 4 attack. I got the Necrof to hit over it. So really, the shield there can kind of punish this play because now he doesn't have the Necrof to hit over the Elechic, and he knows I have the answer in hand. So now he needs a counter room to be able to answer it. So here he just hits over the Smoltuga, and I just let it go. I see no reason to when I got the Necrof in hand to enter the Elechic, and really, I don't want to bounce back the Elechic either. And if I had Gorgon's Gaze, I would have used it. Or if I cared about the Gorgon's Gaze, I would have used it. And here is why I should have run more Fire Spirits. I figured the 2 would have been fine, but I didn't take into account shield. I should have run at least 3 fire spirits or even force fire spirits, because here it's a misenchant the Necrof. It's not like Tsunami's a concern, so here I just lost out on a point of damage, which kind of stinks, but at the same time, not the end of the world with the position I'm in right now. And Alex, again, with this Rummage play, very slow to be able to search out the Viscerus, but compressing his deck a lot, so his draws probably will be pretty good moving forward. But at the same time, he just can't aggress Necrof at all. So, and gives me the chance to aggress. And here sets up the Zeus, which I find interesting because it's not really doing much. To me, that televises an altar play most likely, but it enables my Laurels here. And with Rummage out of the way, and me predicting a Laurels play, I'm free to just aggress here. I've got the Poseidon, I've got the Aphros, so now I can start getting a lot of card advantage and put on the pressure. And the reason I want to do it here, despite costing so many spirits, is because it also removes a lot of resources from Alex, limiting his responses. So I'm debating whether Aphros or Necrof, and I decided to go to Necrof because I do have a Trident in my hand. Oh, and an Ambrosia is great to just recoup some spirits. So I decided to go onto Necrof, kind of putting him in this awkward position where he, to get rid of the spirits off the board, has to answer Necrof, but leaves my Aphros up, and I can always go Trident Nexus to Aphros and still get some draws. And on top of that, I can still Nexus to Poseidon and Ascend. I don't know if it's necessarily the best play, but it's definitely a play to do. So I think there's some debate to which one would be the better target, but that's the reason why I did that. And I just get attacking for 4 spirits, cutting his spirit total in half, and, well, I'm still up at 8. He ends up going Viscerus, disenchanting Viscerus to try to hit over the Necrof, and here I just shield it, because there's no reason not to. I have lethal on board. It keeps him off of a Nexus target for Altar, which is one of the face downs. So now at this point, like, if he goes shield, that stinks, but here, just kind of drawing some cards, because at this point, I'm like, can I just go for the Majesty play? Like, it's super greedy. I believe I have game on board most likely, so I could play it real safe. Honestly, I could just Trident lock and do that, but I really want to go for the play since I'm up a game. I'm being super greedy here. So here I shuffle back in 4 cards with drops, trying to dig for the Majesty. That's the only card I am missing here for this combo. No joke. But can I get it off of 5 draws here? 3, 5, and no. So here I just go for the Trident play to close it out. Unfortunate that I did not find the Majesty. I really wanted to go for it in this match, but hey, and I got Galaxy to boot. Send everything in, and that is that, and it is the double altar. And the next card is Majesty, no! So that was absolutely crazy. 1 card away from the Majesty combo, but I'm shocked that that game was as even pace as possible. After talking to it, all of Axe's Earthquakes are at the bottom of the deck. That really would have swayed the game if he had been able to find it. And then also not being able to necessarily establish a buy to ascend into Sonicor also really hurt as well. So I think I played that game very well, paced out my answers very, very well as well, and just kind of play to make sure I can out those bodies. So definitely a very interesting match to watch back, because I did not expect it to go this way. But now I want to hear from you all. What was your favorite part of this match? And also, do you think that Nexusing with that first Aphros Nexus onto the Necrof was correct, or should I have just Nexused onto the Aphros there? You can check out all my fellow ECL participants' channels linked down in the description below. Alex will be right at the top because he was my opponent for this week. And if you've enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and turning on a notification bell so you're notified when I do upload more content. We've got 1 more week left in the regular weeks for the ECL. I am up against Cerebro, who is piloting Water and Earth, so that will be an interesting matchup. I already know what I'm going to bring, just got to build out that deck, and we'll see how that match goes. Can I get 1 final win, meaning I will have gone 3 and, what was that? There's 9 of us, so 5 and 3. That's kind of the losses first. If I can win that, I'll go 5 and 3 in this whole thing, which is overall isn't too bad. I haven't been counting up the totals to see if that will get me into contention for 3rd and 4th place. And honestly, I don't want to know. I just want to enjoy that match, and I'll figure it out afterwards. So we'll see what happens. But with all that being said, though, look forward to more content coming out real soon.